Hey, what's up YouTube? This is the Bolt Speed Gamer back again with another Pokemon Black and White Wi-Fi battle. I had this match yet a couple days ago, so yeah. Anyway, looking at his team, he has a rain team clearly with Politoed, Chansey, Scizor, Ferrothorn, Tentacruel, and Jirachi. And looking at my team, I have a new team member, which is Torterra. So yeah, I do try to get him to show his stuff in this match, but he doesn't really, because it's just all bad. So yeah, I wish I could have shown you how Torterra works. Maybe I can in a future video. But yeah, this one was a really close match. I had a lot of fun. So yeah. But in this thing, Gliscor does a lot of work. Again, Gliscor is just amazing. So, yep. That's his team, that's my team. Let's start the battle. Okay, now starting the battle, I lead with my Hippowdon and he leads with his Politoed. The good thing about having Hippowdon be so slow is that it actually is slower, so it goes second and sets up its weather condition then, which is good. So I go into my swamps because I wanted him to go. I was hoping he'd go for a Scald or a Hydro Pump, but he goes for an Ice Beam, but that's okay because I can take it, and that it only does like 28 damage after Leftovers recovery. Then he goes into the Full Metal, the Ferrothorn, and I go for the Toxic, but since Ferrothorn's part Steel type, it's not going to work. So I go into my Crustle because I know the entry hazards are coming, and my only hope for Crustle to sweep is before the entry hazards. So I go for the Shell Smash, and he goes for the Gyro Ball. With lower defenses and high speed, he's easily gonna bring me down. And he got a crit right there, though I'm not sure it mattered. Now here was a vital mistake on my part. I thought he was going to go for another attack, so I went for the more powerful attack. If I'd gone for Earthquake there, I could have survived one more turn and taken down this Ferrothorn, but it's not the way it worked out. And I wanted to surprise him and just go for the Fire Fang when I brought in my Gliscor, because I did not want this thing setting up any more entry hazards. So yeah, I go into my Gliscor, get the Toxic Orb, and I call Gliscor back and send in my Hippowdon to get the Sandstorm up, because I just really do not need him with his weather up. So he goes for the Ice Beam, and I survive. And then here I get greedy. And I thought he would switch out, or feared me switching into Gashadon, but he predicted that and went for the Skull, which is just bad. So I'm like, okay, maybe he wants to stick with Scald. And here he actually does really good play. I go into my Gashadon, I go for the Earth Power, yeah. And it hits this Chansey. It does nothing because it's a Chansey. And then he switches back into his Politoed. So I go for the Toxic this time, and it poisons him, but oh, this was just awful, because I go for the Earth Power, or he Toxics me first, I'm sorry, he Toxics me first, then I go for the Earth Power, and then he does like nothing, because Politoed, this is a defensive Politoed, and then he switches out and goes into his Chansey, and I'm like, oh no, here comes the Aromatherapy or Heal Bell, and I can't stop it. But I do take this opportunity to go into my Torterra. And this is good because I get a free switch in because he's going to go for the Heal Bell, and then I can go for Rock Polish, which is this Torterra strategy, is Rock Polish to get his speed up, because that's his only stat that's bad, and then I can just start, you know, using good attacks. But this Scizor takes it because he's part Steel, or part Bug type, and takes me down with the Bug Bite. So yeah, I suspect this is a Choice Banded Scizor, because a lot of Scizors are Choice Banded. He switches out and goes into his Politoed. And I failed, and I used Protect because I thought he would attack, but no, that was just bad. So I go into my Gashadon, and he goes for the Ice Beam again, avoiding the Storm Drain. Now, I don't know if he knew I had Storm Drain or if he just was predicting me. Or if he was just going for the attacks. So here, I make a good play, is he goes for Protect and I go for the Recover. So I get a free Recover off. But it doesn't really help me because all I'm going to be able to do is not kill this thing. Because he goes for the Ice Beam, gets crit, which is just annoying. And I go for the Earth Power, and it does, like, nothing. So, yeah. Now, what do I do next? What do I do? He goes for the Protect, and I go for the Attack, because I thought he wouldn't Protect because I went for the Earth Power. And yet I did. He thought I'd go for the Recover, so he wouldn't Protect, but he did. And so here, I predicted him to switch out. I just thought he'd go into something else, but this actually works out really well because I send in my Heatran. And he goes for the Superpower, and I was just, that was annoying. And so, but I do live it with some HP. And I'm able to go for the Earth Power just in case he switches out. And so yeah, the Scizor is taken down. By the way, that is a defensive Heatran, so that's why he was able to survive. Then he goes into his Chansey, which I know I can't take down. And now I'm in a really bad position because I think both my guys are going to die upon entry hazards other than Gliscor, so I'm stuck with staying with Gliscor. Here I go for the Swords Dance on the Switch, which was just awesome because that really was just... I couldn't have taken down this Politoed without the Swords Dance. So I go for the Swords Dance on the Switch, and now Gliscor is ready to do some work. He outspeeds, goes for the Earthquake. I did the damage calculations. The crit did not really matter because of the damage he previously took. So I'm going to be able to outspeed this Jirachi and take it down in one shot with an Earthquake. Because Gliscor is just amazing. Sends in his Tentacruel, and since Tentacruels are especially defensive and not physically, I'm going to be able to take that down. And so now he's in a really bad spot because all he has left is Chansey. I know it can probably take one because of it'll probably have the Evilite, and yeah, it takes one. And then it goes down and goes for the Seismic Toss, I'm sorry. Then I go for the Fire Fang to in the ring to end the game. So yeah, that was my 10th Wi-Fi match. I had a lot of fun. I'm hoping to be able to do show off Torterra's ability in the future. And by the way, I am open to challenges if you want to, and I will record it, but only, here's the thing, I'm trying to do a family-friendly channel, so you can't have any inappropriate nicknames, so that's my one stipulation. But other than that, I'll be happy to record, win or loss. So yeah, that was the battle, and now I want to know, what is your favorite Sinnoh starter? As I said before, Torterra is my favorite because he's just awesome. A close second for me is Infernape. I don't really like Empoleon, but yep, that's my favorite. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and tell me yours below. So, yep, thanks for watching, and bye.